Okay, hi there, Nick Dutch again. Very quickly, I received an email on YouTube with reference to my previous video on demonology. This particular person inquired whether I'd actually understood demonology, when in fact these two ideas are very different, to suggest that demonology, the way that I've described it in my video on the subject, as well as what I've described in the videos on angels, servitors and other forms of spiritual entities, has any connection with devil worship or demon worship of any description, is a bit like saying that drinking real coffee will naturally lead on to cocaine abuse. Alright, if you are already someone who has got an unbalanced mind and has the predisposition to develop beliefs rather than to actually think about what you're doing, then it's more likely that, yeah, anything that you do is going to end up negative for you and is going to cause you problems. But you've got to be able to think, and you've got to be able to disbelieve. This is the main thrust of my videos and the main thrust of the work I'm doing here, to be able to persuade you that yes, all this stuff is fun to play about with, but if you become a believer, you're fucked. Alright, if you actually end up believing that there are demons everywhere, you're not going to leave the house. If you're actually going to believe that your higher power is talking to you in this, that and the other way, you're not going to listen to people, you're only going to listen to what happens inside your head. So, don't think like that. It's only when you're doing these momentary experiences or attempts to be miraculous, as I've already defined, that you choose to believe what you're doing and what you're experiencing. However, when you stop being in that particular ritual situation or meditation situation or visualization situation, you become a disbeliever. And no, you don't worship, because the creation of imaginary entities, because they are imaginary, but of course we do have experiences which demonstrate that maybe there's another level to their existence, but the creation of these beings, or the summoning of these beings, has to be considered to be purely imaginary when after you've done it. You just say to yourself, that was just a hallucination, because you learn to distinguish between useful information and useless information. If you've already got an unbalanced mind, or you're slightly mad, or you're trying to achieve something which you can't by normal means, and you haven't thought of what it takes to develop yourself, as I've mentioned in one of my previous videos, then you're going to fail and you're going to go mad. Alright, you've got to learn how to think first, not what to think. Alright, I might actually do a video at a later stage purely upon what it means to learn how to think, because the occult world can be really useful to you because it can teach you to think for yourself, something which not everyone is in favor of, and something which people who have rather dogmatic or extreme beliefs would naturally disagree with or disapprove of. Because if you're a free thinker, you're going to disagree with anything that you're told, which is probably a good thing. You need to take absolutely everything with a pinch of salt, because there is no evidence in the whole wide world. No evidence in the whole wide world that what you're seeing on television is real. No evidence in the whole wide world that what you're seeing on YouTube is real. So you've got to have some skepticism. It's called being practical and rational, alright? Most human beings tend to think with their emotions or with their genitalia, and that's really, really sad. We're supposed to be mature, intelligent, educated, civilized, decent adults when working and living in the real world. So vanishing off into some kind of fantasy of this, that and the other will lead down the slippery path. Go to hell. Simply go to hell. Right? If you can't think, then yes, you're going to go mad. Alright? You've got to learn how to think. That's why I did the video upon the concepts of art and science, because if you don't know the difference between art and science, and you don't know what scientific methodology is, and you don't know what artistry is, alright, and how artistic methodology can be deployed in your lifetime, then you're going to be crap at everything, and you're going to believe everything that any motherfucker tells you. So quite simply, if you think that anything that I'm talking about here is evil, grow up.